I'm waiting for confirmation that somebody can see and hear me, but I'm gonna just go forward without that. But if you can see and hear me, let me know. Okay, so this is the final healing in the set of 3 healings that we've been doing, called the December 2023 Triplet set. And the theme is creativity and self-expression. But we have also been doing upper boundary work a lot. Upper boundaries, like so that your auras are just for you, especially up here. So you don't have energy kind of coming down and creating extra shoulder and neck tension, extra pressure on your upper chakras. Because creativity and self-expression is more of an upper chakra thing. 4th chakra is self-esteem, positivity. 5th chakra, inner voice, inner thoughts, communication with others. 7th chakra, intuition. 6th chakra, vision. So creativity, self-expression, I would say it's more upper chakras than lower chakras, but ideally you would be present in all your chakras, keep them all nice and flowing and healthy, so you can be super grounded and, you know, stable and all that good stuff. So anyway, so that's been sort of a sub-theme that's been really significant, is that we've been doing upper boundaries work, which basically involves I mean, obviously repair, you know, of auras and chakras and such, but flow, a lot of unblocking of your auras, because any stuck energy you have is a weakness in the aura. And so if someone throws energy, the impact makes a bigger rip if you have too much stuck energy. If you have just flow, then if someone throws energy, it could just actually bounce out and not impact you at all. That's sort of the ideal. So that's why we've been working upper boundaries, in order to help you with everything in life, including creativity and self-expression. Thank you. Live stream is good. Can see and hear you. Thank you. Live stream, yeah. Life. And this is the only set that, you know, a lot of times we'll do like a theme all month, but since the triplet, the twin set that comes after this, December 17th and 19th is the December twin set of healings, and that has its own theme because it's the last set of the year. So there's always a cool theme that I think some people like don't realize like how helpful it can be, because they're like, you know, it's just she's whooping it up for the end of the year, or she's phoning it in because, you know, it's New Year's. But it's not at all like a phone it in kind of set. It's really cool. It's like getting closure with 2023, and there could be a lot of, you know, loose ends spiritually that you can clean up from that, and then proactive energy clearing for 2024. So you can kind of predict intuitively energy blocks that you have now that would really get in the way with what you want to accomplish and what you might experience next year, and clear them now. You know, I mean, not perfectly, but to give yourself like a smoother, easier road. So anyway, so that's the twin set this month. So we gotta fit all the goodness of just of creativity and self-expression into this triplet set. So I'm going to do a little more explicit work on self-expression and creativity today, just for that reason that, you know, the twin set is on something totally different. Thanks for the healing, Janet. Can see and hear you from partly sunny San Francisco, 57. That's nice. Yeah, we might be in the 50s too. I haven't checked, but we have a lot of rain. They call it, oh God, what do they call it? An atmospheric river. Atmospheric river, which means river in the air, which means it's raining so much. It's like a river. It's kind of crazy. But fortunately, knock on wood, I'm not in a flood zone, so we're fine. And the winds have been low, which is why I still have electricity. Which is great. Always good to have electricity. You never, like, it's easy to take electricity for granted until, you know, it goes out, and then You don't take it for granted. You're like, whoa, electricity is amazing. um, so anyway, the first healing in the set we did we did work on specific meridians a lot to help with upper boundaries, but so that's kind of interesting work and fun. So you could go back and do that one if you missed it. Oh, and I did make a playlist for this triplet set, so all the 3 videos are together in a playlist, and I'll try to do a better job of linking it everywhere. I mean, the link will be down below in the healing summary, but I'll try to remember to put it in the info section and stuff too. It's not there right now, the link to the playlist. But anyway, so then the second healing, rather than do specific meridians, traditional Chinese medicine meridians, and unblock and repair them, we did a flow river, unblock one river that represents all your flow within your space. Yeah, so all your auras within your grounding, within your bones, your muscles, all your meridians of traditional Chinese medicine, all your everywhere, chakras, all your flow. And so I think that was effective, so I'm going to do it that way again today. Rather than do specific meridians. I mean, yeah, most likely. Most likely I won't do specific meridians today, but we'll see. We've been doing for maybe 2 months now, maybe 2.5 months. We've been doing Chaos Boundary Wall, which is a visual simplification where rather than repair every single aura and every single chakra and all that, which is possible to do, you imagine a big gold wall that represents your boundaries with external forces, you know, invasive beings, invasive people, and just imagine it like a big gold flowy wall and repair your wall. You know, heal it, repair it, remove any junk from it, and so that your wall is more gold, more flowing, more strong. So that's Chaos Boundary Wall work, and that has been going very well. Like being effective. So then last healing we did even more of that, where we did Chaos Boundary Wall, but then we also sort of married it a little bit with Deep Thought Technique. And Deep Thought Technique, you heal your mind, you heal your conscious mind and your subconscious mind separately, and kind of unblock them and help the flow. And so we did a Chaos Boundary Wall specific to your conscious mind and unblocked and repaired that, and then a Chaos Boundary Wall specific to your subconscious mind and unblocked and repaired any holes in that. So then you have 2 gold flowy walls if you look at it that way. And I do think that helped, so I'm going to do that again. So we'll do regular Chaos Boundary Wall that represents all your boundaries, and then we'll just do it with the one for your conscious mind and one for your subconscious mind. And if you're not in a complicated, you know, like if that's too complicated for you, just do the regular way. 1 Chaos Boundary Wall. You know, all this stuff is optional. It's just I'm a pro healer. People have paid me good money to give them healing, so I'm going to do, you know, my best. So sometimes what I do in this healing is more than what you're in the mood to do when you heal yourself, and that's okay. Just pick and choose. Within a day, there will be a detailed healing summary of the things that I'm doing in this healing, and there will be timestamp links. Maybe not to every little nitpicky thing, but to any of the big stuff, so that you can click the link and go right to that part of the video if you want. So, as far as explicit work on self-expression and creativity, we're going to visualize it. We did it a little bit, a teeny bit in the survey. Sometimes I like suggest a visualization exercise in the survey. I try to keep it simple. The post-healing survey. And it is optional, but you know, people give it a try sometimes. And sometimes in that survey, I've had people visualize, you know, something, either their abundance or this time it was their creativity as a tree with land around it. And you can imagine what the tree is like, what the land is like, and sometimes that's kind of interesting. You can notice things about, something that's shutting you down, or something that's kind of, obviously messing the vibe of your, suppressing your abundance, if it's an abundance tree, or your creativity, if it's your creativity tree. So it's a visual, it's a simplification, a way to heal, whatever ability you want to heal. Like you could have, like if you want to be better at freestyling your meditations and be more creative with your meditations and your self-healing, more intuitive, hearing your angels better, you can imagine a tree for your meditation, or a tree with land around it for your freestyling meditation ability, and just see what's affecting that tree, what's affecting the land, what does it look like, and then heal it, and then ask your angels to heal it too. But anyway, we'll definitely do that today for self-expression and also for creativity, separate trees with land, just as a simplified way of healing your self-expression and your creativity. And we will probably do draining holes too, because that was something we did in the final healing of when we were working abundance in November, the final twin set healing. We imagined holes that were draining your energy, or holes that were draining your abundance specifically. And again, it was like you can have a literal hole, but say in your aura or in a chakra, but it was one of these simplified things where the hole can represent, damage in 3 different chakras and different holes in different auras and whatever. But you're just imagining, a couple draining holes just simply, and just healing them. You don't worry about where they are, literally. So we're going to do that too. Imagine and melt away draining holes that you have that affecting your self-expression and affecting your creativity. So that's the literal, explicit work that we'll do to help self-expression and creativity today. So yeah, there you go. Anything else? The healings for February, the healing sets for February, the triplet set and the twin set will go on sale on my website December 15th at noon-ish my time, Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m., 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern on the 15th of December, which is a Friday. A lot of times I'm like 10 minutes late with that. Not on purpose, I promise. And I have a news email list. You could email me and ask to be put on that news email list, janet@jwhealing.com. And I email the news email list right after I put the sessions up on the purchase page, so that they just went up. Obviously they go up around the same time every month on the 15th, but like I said, sometimes I'm a little late, and it might just kind of be a double reminder for you, like, oh yeah, let me go on and buy some if you want. So that's, I'm gonna type out my email address. And my website address, feel free to check that out too. Okay. So I think I am ready. So what I will do is I'll be quiet for about 3 minutes as I finish my prep and say hi telepathically to the 131 people that I'll be healing. And I'll start the healing without talking for a minute or so, and then I'll start talking and explaining what I'm doing as I do it for the rest of the healing. So that's that. Hello from Evanston, home of Dave's Rock Shop. 41 Fahrenheit and cloudy. Not bad. Okay. All right, so I will actually be quiet for about 3 minutes. I hope you enjoy the silence as much as I do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be working on is grounding, unblocking grounding, and also unblocking all the bottom part of all the auras, like say from the waist on down. So your auras wrap all the way around your physical body and your astral body. And I mean, all the way around. But I'm going to be especially unblocking down here and your whole grounding, your connection to the core of the earth, because if it's clogged, you can't release, and that becomes very uncomfortable. Um, so I'm unblocking the bottom part of the auras right now beneath the feet. So you just imagine the clogs and you surround them with so much gold light that they melt away. And again, you're using gold light from your hand chakra and your fingertip chakras. You set those chakras to be a metallic gold color, like this glitter. And that would enable them to, and you just do that with your intention. And then that enables you to, then they're generating gold light, which is good for repairing and unblocking and letting go. It's a fast moving vibration, but not too fast. Like white would be too fast. White would be like, I just had 7 coffees. So just comb through your grounding. Recreate both of your groundings. Just make them wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Make your groundings with your intention at a certain color, red or orange or yellow. Make them both the same color. And then have a copy out in front of you of your groundings and just comb through them, comb through your groundings so that you can unblock them. Because like I said, it gets really uncomfortable when your groundings block up. Kind of like feeling bloated or, I don't know, just like that everything's too much. Too much to handle. So just comb through your grounding and the bottom part of all your auras as well. And melt away any stuck energy. You want this area to be only your energy and flowing, flowing, flowing. And indie grounding is where you check the outer surface of your groundings, both astral body grounding and physical body grounding, and make sure there's nothing attaching to your groundings, like a grounding of your relative or something linking into yours, because that doesn't help them, it doesn't help you. So just melt away all the connections between your grounding and other people's grounding. And if you have any hard objects like stuck in the side of your grounding, just, remove those. Just, you can burn them up with gold light, or you can just round up any hard objects and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Any hard objects in the bottom parts of your auras, just take them. Angels, here you go. And a lot of times people's grounding is blocked up, but they don't notice. They don't think, oh, my grounding is blocked. They think, my gosh, why is this taking so long? Like life just gets more complicated when your grounding is blocked up. Sorry, my lighting is kind of wonky today. It's because the house is so dark, because it's dark outside, because it's raining. So again, what am I doing? I'm unblocking grounding and the bottoms of all your auras. And you have 17 auras, physical body aura, astral body aura, and then 15 auras called Wei Qi auras, and that's just extra boundaries energy. I'm unblocking like in the front of all the auras and the backs of all the auras. Somebody in their survey, I think it was their survey, they were like, you know, life sucks, my family sucks, I have to be around them, so that sucks. You know, whenever like you're thinking like this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, your fourth chakra is blocked up, and also probably your aura right in front of your fourth chakra, your fourth layer of your fourth chakra, because each of these major chakras along the spine, they have an aura layer that goes with them. So it's like the energy flows in, goes out, goes around that aura layer, and then comes back in. And so you might have like big rocks right here, and that chakra, rather than being a nice open flowing cylinder where energy can flow in and out, in the front, out the back, your energy, it's blocked up. It's not that your family gets any better, it's that you don't have that same perspective. It's not like all of a sudden you're like, oh, my family members are the best people in the world. It's just like you just don't feel as bad about it. You know, they're still invasive, they still have nothing in common with you, and you have nothing in common with them, and they still think you're, you know, a failure, but you're in a better mood. You know, it's like it just doesn't impact you the same way at all. If you have a, you know, nice flow in your fourth chakra, which is in the center of your chest. So let's do specific fourth chakra work. Why not? So what we did already was grounding, unblocking, and also bottom of auras. Bottom part of all auras. And then I was just talking about fourth chakra stuff. So we'll do fourth chakra and fourth layer, and then probably we'll see after that. So that was a little explaining. So now we'll do. So again, it's not that, you know, because everyone can think about things that suck about their life, you know, or things that suck about the world, you know, the wars, the poverty, the whatever. But you can also feel pretty fantastic too, if your fourth chakra is working properly. So I'm specifically healing and repairing and unblocking both fourth chakras, your physical body fourth chakra and your astral body fourth chakra. So you make a copy out in front of you of both of them, and it wouldn't necessarily be yellow. It's just, you know, I have yellow paper, so that's what I did. But basic chakra shape of all chakras is an open cylinder. Obviously, your finger chakra is a lot smaller. Your fingertip chakra is much smaller than this. Most chakras are smaller than this. It just, I don't know, just seems nice to have a nice big copy. So you can unblock and repair both of your fourth chakras. And this won't work like forever, you know, like now you'll always be motivated and have a positive attitude, but, you know, baby steps. Each time you feel like crap, you can work on this chakra again. You can work on all your chakras, but especially if you're like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, that's fourth chakra. Your fourth chakra is blocked, and your fourth layer is blocked. And the problem with that is your fourth chakra is also for motivation. So if it's really blocked, then you think everything sucks and you're not motivated to do anything about it, except maybe complain in your mind. So that's the most unfortunate chakra to have blocked, probably. Because it's like self-pity, and you just feel so bad. Self-esteem problems, you know, which leads to, you know, you're not treating yourself well enough, you don't take care of yourself enough. So fourth chakra is really nice to keep happy. Changes your whole perspective on everything. So we're unblocking and repairing the fourth chakras in particular. And fourth layers. You have 2 fourth chakras, 1 for your physical body, 1 for your astral body, and 2 fourth layers. fourth chakra, a good color for it is green. Rainbow colors you can use for your major chakras, so red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. And if you need a handout where that's all written, you can email me at janet@jwhealing.com and ask for the free 2-page chakra handout. And it's just an email attachment, and it's all written out, the colors and locations and what each chakra helps you with. So it's the free 2-page chakra handout, which I can email people if you ask for it. So that means green, nice color for your fourth chakra, and any shade of green you want. And then it would be generating your energy at green and sending it to your fourth layer. So if your fourth layer is just a little bit green right now, but a lot black, it's not that you're seeing it wrong. It's that, it's really blocked up and stagnant, and that energy is not green. So just anything that's not your green, just wash it out with gold light, melt it away. So I'm going to do chaos boundary wall work. I can do, explicit repair of all major and minor chakras, but I want to see, a lot of times chaos boundary wall work, it does that plus a lot more, and it's so approachable. So I want to try that. So chaos boundary wall, like I said, is, you imagine a big gold flowy wall, kind of force field, that represents your boundaries with all external energies, external invasive people, invasive beings, and you just heal your chaos boundary wall with lots of gold light from your hands. And you look for big gaping holes and you repair them with gold light. And there could be junk stuffed in the hole, and so just melt that away so that the hole can kind of grow back and repair itself. And you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my boundaries, can you please recycle them? And you might have things that need to be removed from your chaos boundary walls, like other people's energy or whatever. You don't know what it is, you just see it. So it could be like some kind of hard metal grating that's in your chaos boundary wall. So just lift that out, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. So again, we're repairing your chaos boundary wall, which is a simplified way of healing your boundaries. You might see just stuff kind of pasted in the front of it, like an icy sort of block in front of your chaos boundary wall. You can just remove it with gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Remove the junk. Angels, here you go. And with all this, at some point you're like, okay, that's enough for now. You want to do what's healthy and gentle to do right now. Even with repair, even with healing, sometimes, there's just a pacing that's best for your body and your mind and your spirit. Let's clear 2 big blocks. Both, just any that are triggered. Two big blocks are bigger ones that don't just clear as we're doing all this stuff. So you just explicitly do it. But then we're going to clear two big blocks in between you and your body. So ones that trigger especially when you're trying to get more present, or get in the way when you're trying to be more present. First, just in general, just any two big blocks that you need to clear, just stack them up. They can be as big as surfboards or smaller. They tend to be like several energy blocks glued together with your resistance or somebody else's energy. So just stack up all your two big blocks, any energy blocks that are bothering you on any level, and just stack them up and bring up red earth energy from the core of the earth. Soak them in that red earth energy, and that helps you to separate from them. And then use gold light and melt cords going into these two big blocks from other people, from yourself, and just melt the blocks. And the gold light helps the glue, the resistance, other people's energy to melt away, and then the blocks tend to clear a lot more easily that way. So you can melt them with the gold light. You could blow up your two big blocks potentially, and they would all clear. But if you have any left over that are not clearing, just say, angels, can you help me with these? All right, so that was regular clearing two big blocks. So then we will do the blocks in between you and your body. So that's literally, they could be, this is my drawing from 2 days ago, so it's a little faded at this point. So this is your astral body, you as a spirit. This is your physical body. When you're asleep, your astral body is off, hopefully with your angels in your sleep on the astral, and your physical body's in bed, hopefully asleep. And but when you wake up, when you get present, you as a spirit, you come in to your physical body through the top of your head, and hopefully you come into all your chakras, but a lot of people don't. Maybe some people that aren't that stable, they only come into their top chakra, or they don't come into any of them, and they're just kind of floating around their body. But so you want to clear as many energy blocks as possible that get in the way of you being more and more present. In the past, I've done that a little bit by talking about chakra fit. And you know, these 7 major chakras of your astral body, you want those to fit really well into your 7 major chakras of your physical body. So it's like, you just kind of can pop in better. But 2 big blocks in between you and your body does that, but it also, maybe there's some energy blocks just in your auras somewhere that just get really triggered when you're trying to be more present, and you're like, I don't like that feeling, let me forget about being so present. Right? So just clear those blocks, get them out of the way so that you can finally check in more, enough to get what you want done, enough to feel, progress and forward momentum in your life. Okay, so that's clearing 2 big blocks in the way of you and your body. Okie doke. So just stack those up, as many as you want, and then say, angels, is it okay to clear all these? And they'll remove a couple if it's too ambitious for you right now. But so then whatever is still in front of you, go ahead and clear it. You can blow them up. You can soak them in red earth energy first. That could help you separate from them a little bit better. And then gold light, melt away cords from other people, from you, going into these energy blocks. And then just melt the blocks or blow them up if you're healing yourself. Again, these are 2 big blocks specifically that get triggered and in the way when you're trying to get more present, or even thinking about getting more present. So these could be also blocks in the way of you being productive, disciplined, like doing healthy behaviors every day kind of thing, all that's part of this. Because the more present you are, typically, the more productive and healthy and self-healing, and the better you take care of yourself, and the more highly functional you are in your life. So again, just stack up any two big blocks in the way of you, in between you and your body, in the way, and just stack those up and soak them in red earth energy, gold light, melt the cords going into them with gold light, and then melt these two big blocks. And you may have a couple that haven't cleared, and it's probably because some people are cording those blocks. So just go ahead and melt everybody's cords. It doesn't help them to be corded into your junk. You know, if anything, it stresses them out subconsciously. So do them a favor, do yourself a favor, and melt the cords going into these remaining energy blocks. You can say, angels, help me do this, and then just melt the blocks. So let's do that again. And again, your intention is to do what is healthy and gentle for you to do today. So put, if there's more within that range that you could do, just go ahead, put that out in front of you. Any of your two big blocks in the way of you being more present, in the way between you and your body, just stack up those two big blocks, bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy, and gold light. Use the gold light to melt cords going into these blocks, and melt the blocks. So take a couple of deep breaths into your legs, into your feet, all your major joints, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. All right, good job. Okay, so now we will do the explicitly theme-related stuff that I mentioned. Self-expression, tree with land is the first thing we'll do. So you imagine a tree and land around it that represents your self-expression. It's a simplified way to visualize the energy that's impacting your self-expression. Literally, it would be, maybe fourth chakra, which is self-esteem and, positive thinking and gratitude. Fifth chakra, which is communication, literally. Maybe seventh, which is confidence. It's several chakras, several aura layers involved with self-expression. So, imagine it as a tree with land might, it might be not so boring too. Sometimes you work chakra so often, it's like, oh my God, if I see another chakra, So it's nice to just go at things with different angles, keep things interesting for yourself. Because if you're bored, you're not as engaged, so you won't be doing your best work. So self-expression, tree with land, baby, let's do it. So self-expression, and as I've said before, it doesn't mean that you tell everybody every single thing that you're thinking, because sometimes, it's just not the right person to tell that to, or that wouldn't be compassionate or thoughtful to tell that person a certain thing. So, there is wisdom necessary as well with your self-expression, but it can be too like self-expression, like in what you're wearing, or you know, how you decorate your home, or not only verbal self-expression. Okay, so go ahead and imagine a tree that represents your self-expression, and land around it that also represents your self-expression, and just um, notice what it looks like. How does the land look? How does the tree look? And don't be surprised if it's not perfect. You know, that's okay. And you can notice something about it that's surprising for you, that you didn't expect about your self-expression tree or your self-expression land. And you don't have to do a lot of interpretation. You know, some people get caught up in the mental aspects of things, and it's not really necessary. Um, it can be interesting if you know, if that works for you, and you kind of do notice like, oh wow, this side is shaded and it's because of this person. Their energy is in my space impacting my self-expression, you know, whatever. So if you notice stuff and the interpretation flows easily for you, that's fine. But if it doesn't, don't get hung up on that. Just heal the land and the tree that represents your self-expression. And I think part of the nice thing about this is there's no perfect way to do it. You know, you just go for it. And there's no one way your tree is supposed to look, or, you know. You can notice, is there something, you know, restricting the size on your self-expression tree? Like maybe something's wrapped around the trunk, restricting its growth. You can take that off, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Take off anything restricting growth. Angels, here you go. So you can remove that from the land, the tree. Angels, here you go. Again, this is a simplification. It's just you're using an image of a tree and land to see things about your self-expression. And you can say, angels, can you give my self-expression tree and land a healing? And just watch and see how that changes it as well. All right. So then another thing you can do. So that was doing the imagining your self-expression as a tree with land. You healed it, and then your angels healed it, and you just kind of observed. And then another way to do to work self-expression in a simplified way is as a river. So we could do that. So just imagine one river that represents your ability to have self-expression, your present self-expression energy. And just see this river. Is it tiny? Is it big enough? Does it flow enough? Does it have enough water for the level of self-expression that's ideal for you right now? You know, what about the flow? Is it flowing enough? Your river, your self-expression river, is it flowing enough for you to have the self-expression that you would like right now? And chances are you notice things that you could improve about it. So just give your self-expression river a healing with gold light. You can bring up earth energy. You could use like it doesn't have to be red or orange or yellow to heal your self-expression energy. It could be like a blue earth energy or gold light, of course, would work. So you could use really earth energy of any color you want to heal your self-expression river. And you can just imagine some blocks in your self-expression river and melt them away. And if you want, if intuition comes easily to you as you're doing it, that's fine. About, oh, gee, this was a block because, I had this humiliating experience in 3rd grade, or something, But if it doesn't come to you, don't distract yourself with that. That's not the point. The point is to heal your self-expression. So just melt away clogs in your self-expression river. And again, your intention is you want to see and clear what's healthy and gentle to do right now. So, because without stability, none of this is any good, right? So healthy and gentle pacing for yourself, and just notice some blocks in your self-expression river and just melt them away. And the volume of energy in your river, like is it a trickling stream or a little river, and you feel like in your life you need a much bigger, like a flowing ocean kind of river, so you can look towards the start of the river, and maybe there's something that's blocking everything up, so there's just not enough energy. So just towards the start of the river, just melt away enough blocks so that the volume of water in your self-expression river is a lot more. All right, and then so that's maybe good enough for now as far as you healing your self-expression river. So then what about your angels? You can say, angels, can you please heal my self-expression river? And as they do that, you just watch. So maybe you noticed how your river changed when your angels were healing your self-expression river, but if you didn't notice changes consciously, don't sweat it. Your angels are good at healing without you watching. So another thing is denial, and we've worked on this in many healings, but it's still true. You may have little bits of denial that impact how well you can heal your self-expression river. So go ahead, as you're watching your own self-expression river, clear a couple denial blocks, like make some piles of your denial and just melt it away or blow it up. So any denial that's in the way of you healing your self-expression, and just melt away that denial. Like some people are like, well, I didn't really feel the healing that much. And the funny thing is, like, they're receiving the healing, but it's kind of like they have this buffer where they are kind of avoidant, and so it's not really like the healing doesn't impact them as much as it could. And that could be true for you with your own self-healing, that your own self-healing could be much more impactful and you could feel a much bigger difference. But denial's in the way. Like there can be stuff that you're maybe a long time ago, maybe in a previous life, you decided No, I don't want to know. That's too much. You know, could have been too much grief, could have been too much loneliness, too much sadness, too much fear, whatever. But, you know, we're going to remove what's healthy and gentle for you to remove, right? Not too much. So just any denial that's healthy and gentle for you to get rid of, that would help you heal your self-expression better. Just pile that up, those denial blocks, and just melt them away. Okay, and then just notice your self-expression river and notice some blocks you wouldn't have noticed before and just melt them away. You don't have to know what they represent exactly. But again, notice some blocks in your self-expression river that you wouldn't have noticed before because that old denial is in the way, and just melt those blocks. Again, notice some blocks in your self-expression river that you wouldn't have noticed because you had too much denial, but now you're okay with noticing and just clearing it. All right, good. So that was just a little bit extra unblocking of your self-expression river. The angels already healed it, but then we cleared denial. And then did a little extra unblocking after that. Okay, good job. Boo-boo. So, one more thing to do with self-expression is get rid of the holes. So, like draining holes. Like not good drainage, which is your grounding and releasing, but like holes, things that deplete you. Depleting holes, maybe that's more what I mean. Depletion holes, depleting holes, whatever, you know what I mean. Okay, so in other words, it could be damage in certain chakras or certain energy channels or parts of your auras or something. But you don't have to worry about where it all is. Just imagine as holes, anywhere where, just represent all that. If you have any leaks, anywhere, anything that's depleting your self-expression energy, just imagine it like one or a few holes, and then just as you're repairing up the holes, you're healing and repairing whatever is needed. So again, this is like depleting holes that are impacting your self-expression. And so you just imagine the holes and repair them up with gold light. So again, if you have a depleting hole, or you can imagine anything that drains out or robs you of your self-expression energy, just imagine it as a hole. And if you have anything clogging the hole, you can give to your angels. Angels, here you go. And just use gold light to repair up that hole. All right, good job. All right, so then we'll do all that again, but for creativity. But let's unblock grounding for a sec first. So just double check the bottom part of all your auras, like say from the waist down below your feet. Unblock all that. And your groundings, unblock your groundings, which is your connections to the core of the earth. All right, cool. So that was just some grounding, unblocking, and unblocking the bottoms of your auras, bottom half of all your auras. So now we will do more. We'll do what we did before, but for creativity. So we'll do the tree with land exercise. We'll do it as a river, and then we'll melt away depleting holes. Okay, and we'll have your angels heal as well. So imagine a tree that represents your creativity with land around it that also represents your creativity. And just notice, kind of surprise yourself too. Don't be like, oh, it's so perfect. Never mind. Exercise over. There's got to be something interesting that you can notice about it, or something that's very not perfect that you could, improve or heal. So just notice your creativity. And if it is so fabulous, you can notice something in your life that you've been doing that has been helping your creativity. So you can notice both aspects. Something or someone that is impacting your creativity negatively, and something maybe you've been doing for yourself that is positively helping your creativity. And you can go ahead and heal, your creativity tree and your creativity land. Again, this is doesn't matter if you don't own land, you don't own a tree. It's a simplification in order for you to heal a lot at once that's impacting your creativity. And 2 healings ago, we were talking about, having better boundaries with the pain of the world. And, people are going through a lot of hardship really all the time. There's always people on the planet going through hardship. And some people have great boundaries with that, and some people really, really don't. But you can work on it. It's not like forever. That's the way it is. So maybe some of that global pain or pain of a family member, trauma that a family member is going through, or a loved one, is in your creativity tree or your creativity land. So you can just wash it out with lots of gold light. You can still be compassionate to that person or help out a global cause in a certain way, but crushing your creativity over it doesn't help anybody, right? So just heal your creativity tree, heal your creativity land. And go ahead and lift off any global trauma, global violence, global pain, global suffering. Just lift it off. Say, angels, here you go. Any hardship that family members or loved ones are going through, or neighbors or something, just if you see that in your creativity land and your creativity tree, just lift that off. Angels, here you go. If you see anything that is impacting the growth of your creativity tree, like maybe something bound around the trunk or something in the soil or something, just scoop that out, give it to angels. Angels, here you go. Because you want your creativity to be able to grow and be as much as you would like, right? As much as is healthy for you, fulfilling for you. So if you notice anything limiting the growth like that, just lift it off. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. If you notice anything like shadowy or menacing or intimidating your tree, just gather it up with gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And now you can ask your angels to heal your creativity tree and your creativity land. Angels, can you please heal my creativity tree and my creativity land? Or, heal my creativity and just watch the tree and watch the land and see if you notice any difference as your angels are healing it. And just like we did before, maybe sometimes you have a little bit of denial in the way of you healing your creativity tree, your creativity land, or maybe, so just put out in front of you any energy blocks that are creating your denial, any unhealthy denial that you're ready to get rid of, that's healthy to get rid of. Just put that unhealthy denial out in front of you that's in the way of you doing even more healing of your creativity tree, and just blow up your unhealthy denial or melt it with gold light. You can say, angels, it's okay to do this. And then now that you've cleared some of your denial, unhealthy denial, just take another look at your creativity tree and creativity land, and maybe you notice something that you didn't notice before. And then you can go ahead and heal your creativity land and your creativity tree. Okay, so that's imagining it as land and tree, and then we do the river. So you can imagine, you can get rid of that, stop imagining the tree and the land that represent your creativity, and you can imagine your creativity as a river. And just see, and this is optional. If one is so much more fun for you than the other, you don't have to do both. But imagine the river representing your creativity, and just check for the volume of water. Is that enough for your creativity, and is it flowing enough? And just the overall vibe of the water. Do you like it? Is it something that you find joyful and fulfilling, or is it kind of weird and gross to you? And just heal it enough, unblock it enough so that you like it. It's pleasant for you. Again, this is a river that represents your creativity energy at present. And if there's not enough volume, you can go towards the start of the river and just see if there's something kind of plugging it up and melt that away. And again, maybe you have a little denial, so you can't see certain things about your creativity river. So if there's any unhealthy denial, just pile those energy blocks up in front of you, creating the unhealthy denial, and melt them away with gold light. So then again, notice your creativity river, and maybe there's some new blocks you wouldn't have seen otherwise, and melt those away. Maybe there's some aspect of your river you just wouldn't have noticed before, and so now you can notice it because you melted your denial. And you can say, angels, can you again heal my creativity and my creativity river, and just watch if you notice any changes as your angels heal it. All right, cool. So that is creativity river. I'm blocking your creativity river. So then we'll do the depleting holes. For your creativity will melt away any depleting holes that you have impacting your creativity. And again, they can be literal, like holes leaking out energy in some of your aura layers, or an energy channel or two, or your part of your chakra somewhere. But we'll just do a simplified version where you just look and see like one hole that represents all the depleting holes impacting your creativity, and that way you just melt that one hole, or 3 holes. Keep it simple though. Have be one or several holes that represent all your depleting holes for creativity, and just melt them away. And maybe you have some denial, right? Impacting your ability to notice these depleting holes, impacting your creativity. So just stack out in front of you any denial blocks that are healthy to get rid of right now, that would allow you to notice more of your depleting holes. Okay, and then again, look for any depleting holes impacting your creativity right now, and just melt them, let them repair. Let them grow back. If there's any junk in the hole preventing it from repairing, just give that junk to your angels. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. Okay, so that was repairing up, melting away any depleting holes impacting your creativity. All right. So let's unblock a river representing all your flow, the flow of energy within your space everywhere. So grounding within all your auras, within all your chakras, within all your body meridians, within your energy channels, the big ones within, like energy flowing within your bones, within your nervous system, within your organs, all that stuff. So we'll unblock one big river, big flow river, representing all that I just listed. All right. So just imagine that river, see how it is. And just, if you're imagining a perfect river, you're lying to yourself. Just saying. So just, blow that up and just allow yourself to be like, okay, I forgive myself for my imperfections. It's okay, but I would like to work on them. So you gotta nudge yourself into a little more honest awareness. Okay, and again, look at your one big river representing all your inner flow. That inner flow. And unblock that river. And if it's just not enough volume of energy flowing through it, then check at the start of it and see if there are any major clogs there and just melt those away. So this also includes, meridians that affect your shoulders and your neck. So just imagine any blocks affecting, your body tension. Notice these in your big flow river and just melt them away. Okay, so that was unblocking your one big river representing your inner flow of energy. Good job. So we did CBW earlier already in this healing, but we'll do it again. And then I want to do that whole CBW plus deep thought healing where we imagine one for your conscious mind and one for your subconscious mind. Okay, so we've done chaos boundary wall already. But do it again. It's a big flowy wall that represents your boundaries, boundaries with external energies. So invasive people, invasive beings. So you want a nice, big, strong, flowy, very, very flowy gold wall. More like a gold force field, like a wall you might think rigid. So if you think wall as rigid, then don't think of it as a wall, but you might be really strong and really flowy. Your chaos boundary wall, right? And imagine the weakest point in your chaos boundary wall and notice what that's like and just focus a lot of gold light on that weakest part of your chaos boundary wall. And if there are any invasive beings messing with that area, just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this work, can you please recycle them? And if there's any objects within that chaos, the weakest part of your chaos boundary wall, like maybe there's like a gold, a dark sort of grate, metal grate in there, or just some hard objects, just come to your angels. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. There we go. All right, so that was chaos boundary wall, and also healing the weakest part of your chaos boundary wall. So then we'll do imagine for your conscious mind a chaos boundary wall, and for your subconscious mind a different chaos boundary wall, just so in case there's like a boundary issue just with your subconscious mind, you'll notice it. And you can look for any big gaping holes or slashes and heal them up. So again, your chaos boundary wall, imagine one for your conscious mind that represents your boundaries with external energy, your conscious mind. So this can really help focus, right? If you have to study, say, check your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, check boundaries. Because it could be that, it's really easy for your dad's energy to kind of breeze in, and then he's chatting at you subconsciously in your head, and it's like maybe you don't hear it consciously, but all of a sudden you don't want to study anymore, So just check your boundaries for your conscious mind and your subconscious mind by imagining these two chaos boundary walls, and just melt away any holes, anything that's not gold and flowy. And if there's anything that's just hard that you need to get rid of, just give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. Because hardness is not strength in energy stuff. Flow is strength. So anything hard and junky, just give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, remove any junk from your subconscious mind chaos boundary wall. Angels, here you go. All right, good job. In the last healing, we unblocked your 7th to 8th chakra connection. Your 7th chakra is in your head, in the top of your head. It's oriented this way. Obviously, it's smaller than this, but the top of your head would be the top of the chakra, unless it's popped out, which it shouldn't be. And if you set your 7th chakra at any shade of purple, that could be very nice. So you just imagine both of your 7th chakras as copies out in front of you. And just get rid of any junk. Melt away cords going into your 7th chakras. Energy is supposed to shoot out, but your energy. But then sometimes you can have cords from other people. So you just kind of feel those and give to your angels. Melt them away. You want the top and the bottom to be flowing and unblocked. So energy comes from the bottom of your 7th layer, and it gets drawn up all the way into the bottom of your 7th chakra, and then it shoots out the top of your 7th chakra into your 7th layer up here, and then it flows downward again, and then it goes up, flows down. And 7th chakra does help with creativity, creative inspiration, intuition, which relates to self-expression, wisdom too, so you know when to talk and when not to talk, and which people would be open to certain levels of self-expression and which people would not be. And why do you need to know that? Well, I mean, you want to be compassionate, right? And you don't need to overly trigger other people. If they're not open to what you're going to say, they're not going to benefit from it. They might just get triggered. But what happens when they get triggered potentially is that they become punishing or insulting or, invasive, trying to shut down you and what you're saying, or just because they feel triggered and they feel like you wronged them, even though you didn't, because they feel that way because they have all this baggage triggered. And so they're kind of re-experiencing abuse or re-experiencing whatever. And they just, project that at you, you're evil, and throw a lot at you. So life is just easier if you can use your intuition and know, who you can share things with and who it's probably not a good idea to share certain information with. So seventh chakra is a big part of that, just intuition. So I'm just checking a bunch of stuff. I was checking creative rings, which are 3 gold rings above the head. Checking all the major chakras. Checking in front of the auras, like in front of the tummy area. I'm doing a quick tummy meridian. It's a very hairy little diagram, but it's not me. But those are the meridians in traditional Chinese medicine that you have right here in front. So I'm going to do a quick healing of those just for kicks. The one in the midline, that is, in the diagram, it's a gray, so it's hard to tell with all that guy's hair, but that gray one going up the midline. In your body, all these should be a red color ideally, but can't have them all be red. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference in the diagram. So but anyway, that midline one is CV, conception vessel meridian, starts in the crotch in the front, goes up the midline to the front, ends in the tip of the tongue. So should be a red flowy tube carrying your red flowy life force upward, but it can be very blocked. It can look burnt and black. You can have hard objects stuck in it in the front, so you could do sticky gold wax. I'm going to do sticky gold wax on all the meridians, just in this whole area that's shown in the diagram, a little lower too, maybe. Right there. I'm going to sticky gold wax all that. So you have the copy out in front of you of the front of your body with all those meridians, and you just use sticky gold wax, which is gold light from your hands that sticks to everything that's not you, the energy blocks, the invasive beings, invasive people, hard objects, and you just have the gold light stick to all that and then lift it all out as a chunk. Angels, here you go. Again, sticky gold wax, that whole region, the tummy area, all those, the fronts of all the chakras, the little chakras within the meridians, just sticky gold wax the whole thing. Especially to get rid of hard objects, so have it stick to the hard objects and everything that's not you, and lift all that out as a big lump. Angels, here you go. And now just do a little extra repair, because if you picked out a hard object, there could be a leak now. So just repair with lots of gold light. Like I said, that center one, that's CV, and then the orange lines that go up on either side of it, that's your kidney meridians. Kidney meridian, 2 branches of your kidney meridian. And then the green lines, that's a downward flow, that's your stomach meridian. You don't have to know all this, the specific names and directions of flow. You just use gold light and unblock, but might be fun to know. And then the purple line is your spleen meridian, and that's a downward flow one as well. Oh, sorry, that's an upward flow one as well. So most of those are upward, upward, upward. Stomach, the green one, is the downward one. And then the spleen one is upward. The purple line on either side there. Woo! And then you can just comb your tummy area in front of all that and just comb out all the junk. Angels, here you go. Comb out all the junk. Angels, here you go. Junk can be hard objects, baggage of yours, stuff that people have dumped. Strap it all in gold light. Angels, here you go. We did do chaos boundary wall work quite a bit so far, so you should not have aura damage, but just in case you have any rips to any of your auras in front of your tummy area, you just use lots of gold light and comb out. If you have a rip, it could look like a big bowl shape, kind of scooped out. And so you just cover the bowl in so much gold light that it repairs up and it's no longer a gash there. And just like any blocks here impact your upper boundaries, any blocks here impact your frontal boundaries. So boundaries of like energy coming at your face or coming at your belly. So you can just comb through this whole area. So that was, we've been doing tummy meridian. You know, I said I was going to unblock 7th and 8th connection and we never even got to it. We did 7th chakra and then we did a lot of tummy meridian work. Well, not a lot, but some tummy meridian work with sticky gold wax and etc. And in front of tummy meridians too. So then now we're doing, so that sort of eased into this whole thing about your front boundaries. So, you know, because external energy can come from anywhere, come in from anywhere. And the more flow you have here, the less blocks you have here, the more this aura, this part of all your auras is very flowy and stronger. And that way energy is less likely to just like come right in and smash your chakras or come right in and smash your chakras and make your tummy feel weird. So we're working front boundaries now just by doing a lot of unblocking here. So that was explaining. So then now we will do front boundaries work, which is basically unblocking all your auras in front. Especially in front of your tummy area, but also in front of your head and your eyes, your face. In front of your 4th chakra a lot too. So front boundaries. So like if you have knee problems, you know, I'm blocking front here too, so that your aura can protect your knees better. And the thing is too, this stuff is like proactive, you know, like the more you do it, then say your ankles will be less likely to twist or, you know, all that. I mean, obviously food, what you eat impacts all that too, you know, like if you're eating inflammatory substances, then even something small you do can cause an injury. So, you know, food is important as well. Hydration is important. Getting enough rest is important. But, you know, the part that we can do right now is energy healing. And that does help. So working, I don't really need this diagram up anymore, I guess, because we're working just all the front, the whole front of the body. I don't know that I have a really nice diagram of the whole body like that. I just tend to use Activol. So we're working this whole area here, unblocking all of that in all your auras. So just like when you're unblocking grounding, you can kind of bunch up the blocks into one little area and then use so much gold light that they melt. Bunch up the blocks, use so much gold light that they melt. So this is front boundaries. Use so much, like around your, in front of your tummy, bunch up the blockages and use so much gold light that they melt. Again, in front of your tummy area, bunch up the energy blocks and use so much gold light that they melt. And, you know, you can have invasive beings and invasive people that, you know, like coming head on and just, you know, punishing you that way. And maybe some of them are in your aura now, invasive people or invasive beings. So invasive people, just, you know, like melt them out. You can wrap them in gold light and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Wrap up the invasive people in gold light. Angels, here you go. Some people can be, you know, well-intentioned and they just don't understand boundaries. But some people, you know, it's like there's a gradient of, you know, how well-intentioned somebody is. You know, how accidental is it that they're in your space? Sometimes they're like, but you have to answer my 45 questions, you know, and so they're like right here, you know, or some other reason, you know, like you didn't email me back or, you know, whatever. But other people, it's just pure rage, you know, like, fuck you, you're terrible, you know, and that's why they're in front of your face or in front of your belly. But it's not your problem. Whatever's got them all hot and bothered, you know, you deserve to have auras that are just for you. Okay, so just wrap up whoever it is in lots of gold light. You don't have to know who it is, and just bring them out. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Wrap them up in gold light. You can explain to them on the way, hey, karma's not, this is not good karma. Angels, here you go. You know, but it's not your job to teach them about karma, you know, but, and you don't want to like scare anybody or get anybody stuck, you know, just get them out of your space. So wrap them up in gold light. Angels, here you go. Wrap them up in gold light. Drag them out. Angels, here you go. And then you could have invasive beings, you know, that don't have bodies, you know, just little beings, and they're in the front of your space like that. So just, you know, freeze them like ice cubes so they can't move around, and just drag out the little being ice cubes and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So freeze them like ice cubes so they can't move around. Drag them out. Angels, here you go. And you can just have plates of blocked energy like in the front that are triggered. So just melt those away. And just take some deep breaths. Check your grounding. Unblock your grounding, especially in the front, right? Because we're working front boundaries and flow of front. So the front of your grounding all the way down there is what's going to directly impact that. So just make sure the front of your grounding is just nice and wide and flowing all the way down. You know, usually I don't put my hands in front because it ruins the focus of my camera. But, you know, your auras, you want them to go out in front, like, say, like, you know, what, here? You know, all the way out in front of you and that far behind you, too. You know, so just comb that out. And then your grounding, same thing. You want your grounding to be that wide. So unblock your grounding all the way down to the core of the earth. And again, breathe into all your major joints. All right, so that was working on front boundaries, and then by unblocking the front of your aura and also the front of your grounding, especially. And good job. We could do the same thing for the back boundaries. So same idea. You just want all this unblocked as much as possible. You can get a lot of tight, crunchy hardness back here, back here, back here. So we don't want any of that because that weakens the back of your aura. So then if someone throws energy or tries to jump in your space and influence you, it's easier for them to do it if it's all crunchy and hard as opposed to flowy and strong. Okay, so just work on the flowy strong concept there. Just find the blocks. Right now I'm working behind the base of the skull, just all the way out, and just if you have any invasive beings impacting the base of your skull, like all the wonderful acupuncture points there, those are the dots on those lines. Those are little acupuncture points in those meridians. You can have invasive people and invasive beings just kind of linked up to those, and you don't want that, so just use gold light and melt away the cords. If you have any invasive beings impacting those little chakras, just say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? Again, those points in the back of your skull, just imagine any invasive beings, like maybe strings or like spaghetti or cloudiness, and just angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? A couple deep breaths while your angels do that. And again, we're working back boundaries, so the whole back of your space. So any stagnation you feel behind your, or detect or imagine behind your ankles, behind your knees, behind your butt, behind your shoulders, behind your head, anywhere. And you can bunch up the blocks and melt them away. You can blow up the blocks, you can drag them out, blow them up if you're healing yourself, or just melt them with a lot of gold light. Drag out the blocks in the back of your space, melt them with gold light. Drag out the blocks, melt them with gold light. Also, you might find that there are little pockets of energy where you are typically like sort of avoiding, you know, so maybe you have a pocket of energy behind one shoulder that it's blocked up and you're kind of like, wow, that's not there, you know. But it's impacting you. It's impacting your shoulder tension. It's impacting your creativity. It's impacting your sleep. You know, so just in the back of your space, because the back of your space typically is where you shove stuff you're like trying not to deal with. Find something that would be really good for you to clear right now, but typically you're kind of like, whoa, wow, that's not there, subconsciously, you know. So just imagine the whole back of your space and find some pocket of energy that you're kind of like, oh yeah, I generally just totally forget that that's there, and just melt it away. There's lots of gold light. Maybe it's, you know, behind a hip, maybe it's behind a shoulder, behind the base of your skull, behind one of your knees. And it could be further out, but it could be, you know, close to your body, like first layer, second layer. First layer helps with courage, safety, and abundance. So you might have some repressed fears shoved back there, because if the first layer is blocked, it's generally experienced as fear, but it's just a block. So you may have some repressed fears back here. So you can just check for some of that and just melt them away. You may have some energy in your second layer back there, emotional baggage that you like to ignore, but say it keeps you up at night. You know, subconsciously, it just kind of makes your mind go around in circles, you know. So find any emotional baggage in your second layer back here that impacts your sleep negatively and just melt it away. You don't have to know what it is. You don't have to go through 10 years of therapy about it. Just think about it as a hard plate of energy and melt it away. So any blocks back here that impact your sleep negatively, you know, make your mind maybe overactive, just melt them away. You can pull them up too. So any repressed fears and or emotional baggage just gets in the way of sleep, gets in the way of waking up nicely and feeling good. And again, notice those pockets of energy, pockets of blocked energy that you usually ignore. So, because that's how you're going to get this feeling of like, you know, in a week from now or 2 days from now, where you're like, oh, wow, that was so much easier than it usually is. You know, you have to like push the envelope a little, you know, and just find those pockets that normally you would totally not clear, you know, but they're not a big deal to clear, you know. It's not like it's gonna destabilize you at all, you know. So find those healthy and gentle blocked areas that are they're totally fine to clear, but normally you would not, you know. In the back of your space, maybe it's behind your shoulders, behind your hips. It's different for different people. So just find your area where you normally leave it blocked and just clear it instead so that you have flow there. And you know, I said creativity and self-expression tends to be more outer, upper chakras, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and outer aura layers, 4, 5, 6, 7. So since we are working the back of the space to help with back boundaries, and we want as much flow as possible, but we're also working the theme, self-expression and creativity, you could double check these outer layers, 4, 5, 6, 7, and unblock those extra, because that'll help both the theme and your back boundaries. So check those outer layers, outer parts of all the auras, and unblock. Find some blocks that normally you would just leave there, but they're totally fine to do now, and melt those away. Like all those, like, oh, my life sucks, this sucks, that sucks. You know, that would be back and forth layer, like all this stuff, just hard, junky stuff. Just melt some of it away so that you won't feel like things suck as bad. And you know, maybe generally you feel very positive. Well, then that would translate into maybe now you're more self-healing, or you're more self-nurturing, you're more, you know, taking good care of yourself if you melt those away. So we're melting blocks in the 4, 5, 6, 7 layers in the back to help with back boundaries and also to help with the theme. All right, good job. So just check everywhere. Of course, the sides of your space, we didn't do side boundaries. So just double check your flow and your sides of your space. So what I mean is, you know, like from the side of your body all the way outward to the edges of all your auras, just all up and down. all that. So we'll do a quick little side boundaries. So unblock the sides of all your auras. So just notice how that feels. Take a couple deep breaths, check your grounding, the sides of your grounding, right? Unblock the sides of your grounding. Because if those are blocked, it's going to be really hard to get good flow in the side, optimal flow in the sides of your auras, right? So check the sides of your grounding and unblock those. The sides of your head. You have very cool meridians, which we did work. Some of these, we worked the gallbladder meridian and the Sanjiao meridian. The gallbladder meridian starts in the corner of the eye here in the diagram. Unfortunately, a lot of these ones have a similar color in the diagram. But the gallbladder meridian starts in the corner of the eye and then goes near the ear and then up. And then there are those 4 points right there near the hairline. And then there's a big arc around the ear. And then it goes forward to the forehead. And then it goes back near the urinary bladder meridian all the way back. And then it has what I call the shoulder swoop that goes from that point at the base of the skull to the shoulder, and it was like 20 and 21, I think, is the shoulder swoop area. Gallbladder, yeah, 20, and then gallbladder 21 is the dot there on that green line, and from going here to here, I called it the shoulder swoop part of the meridian, and it's just where you can feel a lot of tension if it's blocked up. Like you can feel physical tension. I mean, you can feel any of this, but that I think most people feel quite a bit. The shoulder swoop area of the gallbladder meridian. So, but anyway, and then we worked a little bit on the Sanjiao meridian, which is more of a bright turquoise color in the diagram, and it starts at it actually ends at the outer part of the eyebrow there, and it on its way it loops up very close to the ear there. That bright turquoise line goes up the neck, and there are 2 points. There's 1 point near the upper arm, and then there's 2 points along the shoulder. I'm going to call that part the shoulder bridge part of the Sanjiao meridian because I named the shoulder swoop part of the gallbladder meridian, so I'll call the other one the shoulder bridge part. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it there. So bright turquoise line going up along the shoulder. Then there are 2 points on the shoulder right there. So I'm calling that the shoulder bridge area of the Sanjiao meridian. Doesn't relate to side boundaries, so I'm just geeking out for a sec to do it for fun. Unless I want to name it. So that's the shoulder bridge part of the Sanjiao meridian. And later someday we'll do the shoulder zigzag part of the small intestine meridian because that's super cool too. That brown zigzaggy line, I love that one. But we'll save that for another day. So we're really doing side boundaries, and then I had a little aside just to name that shoulder bridge area. Shoulder bridge, part of the Sanjiao meridian. But now we'll go back to side boundaries. But anyway, I had started to explain the side of head meridians just to say, like, if you have stronger boundaries here, it benefits all of these meridians a lot, and it's easier for them to flow better, so then you'll have less head pain and more functionality in these meridians. And these meridians help a lot of different things that you just wouldn't imagine they help, you know, like psychologically, mentally. So anyway, side boundaries. And again, they come from unblocking the actual meridians to some extent that go along the sides of your body. So we can just without literally doing all of them, but we can just any meridians that are like along the side here, you know, and there are a bunch of them that at some point are on the side, you know, like in the arms, including in the arms. So we'll just heal. Just with gold light and intention, we'll heal any meridians in the arms and the whole side of the body on both sides. So side meridians, we'll call them, including arms and hands and sides of the legs and sides of the hips and tummy area. So it's just side meridians. Which is, of course, many meridians, but just the part of them as they're along the side. So even in the arm, armpit, side of torso, side of leg, side of head, side of neck, all that stuff. You just want to heal to the extent that's healthy and gentle. Just kind of let them flow properly, let them repair. And then the auras. You want as much flow as possible. Your auras are supposed to protect you, but they can't if there's too much stuck energy, because then they're really weak. So you want to melt the stuck energy in the sides of all your auras, especially the side of the head. Especially the side, like right here too. To the extent that's healthy and gentle. So you might want to do a little stretching, gentle stretching. Just get a sense of the side of your body and those muscles and joints, how they're doing. And again, just comb through any areas of tension with lots of gold light. So any tense parts of the body, but also the aura around that. On the side, because we're doing side stuff right now. All right, good enough. Okay, so you can redo your gold buffer zones. I haven't mentioned those yet in this healing out loud. So those are big gold buffers that you make that you attach to your astral body aura and your physical body aura, and you can recreate them in an instant. And it just helps with protection because they're buffers, so they get destroyed first, and then you can recreate them. So that was side meridians, and then unblocking the sides of the auras, and then we recreated gold buffer zones. There will be an 18-minute video down below the summary that is called Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones that you can learn how to make them. Let's empty unprocessed stress pots. Sometimes, I mention things and that can trigger a bunch, or just someone throws energy at you or something happens in your life and it can be a lot, And so stress pots are just, it's a visual representation of like a waiting area that you have where you're about to clear something, you just can't get to it yet. And so you can imagine like cooking pots, but they're hopefully empty because that way, if you have to shove stuff in there, there's room. If all your unprocessed stress pots are full, then it can give you a sense of like you can't handle one more thing, that's it, you're full, And so just imagine your unprocessed stress pots and see, are they all full? Are they half full? Are they all empty? And just bring up red earth energy straight from the core of the earth. Soak them in red earth energy, use gold light. If anybody's cording your unprocessed stress pots, melt the cords. And then go ahead and use gold light and melt whatever's in your unprocessed stress pots. And that is basically processing whatever you needed to process. So you're kind of catching up. Like sometimes people have a week and they're like, oh, I can't catch up. It's just, it's their unprocessed stress pots are too full. So just melt that away so you can catch up. And you may be in a little bit of denial and you can't see some of your unprocessed stress pots. So go ahead and imagine if you do have any unhealthy denial that blocks your awareness of your stress pots, and just melt the unhealthy denial. And then notice the extra unprocessed stress pots, and they're probably super full. And just bring up red earth energy, soak them with that, and then lots of gold light. So you can just melt this junk away. You don't have to drag it around and pretend it's not there. So these are the unprocessed stress pots that you've been ignoring. And just melt them away. You don't have to write a big essay about it. You don't have to use them like cologne. Just get rid of them. All right, so that was emptying unprocessed stress pots for about 3 minutes. That was cool. So we're going to wrap up soon, but I would like to do, the angels are suggesting that we do an Akashic record upload, which we haven't done in a healing in a bit. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have a great memory, but maybe like 6 months ago probably was the last time we did an Akashic record upload in a healing. So everyone has their own Akashic records. There is sort of like a universal Akashic records, which is sort of like a library of knowledge. You can sort of imagine it like next door to heaven, maybe. It's on the astral, the angels maintain it, and it just has a lot of knowledge. And you could go there with angel escort if, the angels deem that that it's okay. But typically, the library that is most useful for you is your own Akashic records that your angels maintain for you. And that's like a private spiritual library of things that you've learned in different past lives. And, if you're at all listening and interested in this stuff, you've had plenty of past lives before, even if you don't know what you did in them. And so there's a lot of good learning that you had that you worked hard to figure out in those lives. Like you learned compassion, you learned wisdom, you learned, when to not say something and when to say something, and how to be diplomatic, and how to, who to trust and who not to trust. And, you learned intuition about deceptive people, all sorts of good things you learned in past lives that, maybe some of that you could really use right now. So, there could have been a life that you had really good intuition about people and their character and who's deceptive and who's not. Or maybe you had really good intuition about, who would be a good friend and who wouldn't be a good friend. Or, who, what level of information to explain to different people, so you don't over trigger them. All sorts of stuff that you might have already figured out in a past life. So you can go to your Akashic records with your angels in your sleep. It's an out of body experience, so don't try it while you're driving a car, for sure, because unless you're, don't. But if you're in a safe place that you regulate the energy of, like your home, and your home is safe, you've asked your angels to clean out your home, then it's okay to do an out-of-body meditation with your angels. Just say, angels, can we visit my Akashic records? But definitely angels, because all this stuff, you want to do it safely. But uploading to your Akashic records, you don't have to go. You can just send it up. It's like like the banks, old banks used to have these vacuum tubes, and you would put whatever deposit you had in the vacuum tube, and there'd be a little canister, and it would just go, once you put it in, it would go whoop, right? So it's kind of like that. But I like to look at it, imagine it like gold leaf that just sort of floats upward, to your Akashic records. But you could imagine it like an old vacuum tube or whatever. But your angels, make sure it arrives properly, what you're uploading to your Akashic records. But anyway, so that's explaining Akashic records, individual Akashic records, and Akashic record uploads. The point of Akashic records upload, though, I should explain, is that, you want to probably do a download, and you don't have to visit to do a download. So you could download, say, better intuition about people and their motives, or, intuition about who would be a good friend, or intuition about, maybe some abundance stuff. You could download that. But uploading kind of, it's like clearing the countertop, before you're about to cook or something. There's some stuff that just clutters. Like hoarders sometimes need to do Akashic record uploads a lot. And so, if I'm healing someone who is a hoarder, then, this would help that. Wouldn't be an instant fix, though. Hoarding is very complex. And so I would never recommend to try to, force someone to stop hoarding. It's a very long process. And usually if someone's a noticeable hoarder, there's a lot, so it's not something you kind of, it's not like, oh, you spilled something on your shirt, you want to wipe that up. It's not like a simple, quick thing. But anyway, enough about hoarding. So uploading, it just allows you to get closure on things and file away stuff that you've learned, consciously or subconsciously, that you just don't need anymore. Like, you're kind of over it. You kind of are done, with something, like something you learned, or something you're just done for now with. And so your angels help you decide what, you file up in your Akashic records, but that's what an upload is. So we'll do an upload and a download, of course. So, that was only 5 minutes of explaining. It felt like forever. So I'll have a timestamp link so you can avoid the explanation if you want. But anyway, so Akashic records, like I said, it's up there. You can imagine it. Your personal Akashic records, maybe it's like down the street from heaven. So it's not like right next to heaven. But you don't have to worry about where it is in relation to other things on the astral. It's just a place. But you don't have to go there now. If you stay here, fully here, be in your legs and everything. And because doing it this way, then you're more likely to just fluidly do it. At some point when you need it, a week from now, or 2 weeks from now, or 2 months from now, if you're used to doing it when you're present. So that's a good reason to do it fully present. So stay here, touch your fingers, wiggle your toes, feel how that feels, right? And just, your seventh chakra, you can give that a healing. You can give your creative rings a healing a little bit, 3 gold rings. You just want a nice unblocked flow around your seventh and your creative rings, and then just, You just imagine kind of like letting go. And just, it's sort of like if somebody were to take a book and just, you know, go like this, and just stuff just releases upward, you know. And like I said, you can imagine as little gold leaf pieces, you know, going upward or whatever. You can say, angels, help me do an Akashic record upload. And it could be pieces of energy of yours, pieces of learning from any chakra, any aura layer, any part of any aura. And it could be really quick, or it could take like a whole minute. Just keep breathing. And then you can just comb through your space, see how that feels after your Akashic record upload. Check your grounding flow and the flow of the bottom part of all your auras. Unblock that with gold light from your hands. Your front boundaries, your back boundaries. Your side boundaries. Upper boundaries. Lower boundaries, we pretty much work just because we're already unblocking, so you can release as much as possible. So that's pretty much the same as working your lower boundaries. So now, so that was just an overall unblocking after the upload. Like aura unblocking for boundaries. Yeah, overall unblocking everywhere. And then we'll do the upload. I'm sorry, the download. So again, it's probably going to come in as little pieces of gold light, but it could also come in rainbow colors as well. So you could just say, angels, can you help me do an Akashic record download? And just, you can comb through the upper part of your aura as you do it. Just stay here. You can unblock above the top of your aura too, because sometimes that's in the way of new stuff coming in. And you can just sit here and just notice it. Again, it can feel like the same thing, but in reverse, where, you know, like gold leaf comes down, or like, you know, rainbow colored little flower petal type vibe comes down. You know, it's just your energy, your wisdom from past lives that you and your angels have decided would be useful for you now. Not just in this lifetime, but like now, like in the next couple months now. Now and in the next couple months. So I'm just combing through all the major chakras along the spine. Groundings, all your auras, side boundaries, side meridians, front boundaries, back boundaries. I'm looking at a sample person for a second, so I'll be quiet. Okay, so we're almost done, but there's one more like visual. Like we imagine self-expression like a tree with land or a river. We imagine creativity that way too. Another one that's a little more literal is imagining self-expression like blocks to your self-expression as like something muting you, like wrapped around uh, your mouth and your neck maybe. So like say, like that. This is a glove. But say it wasn't a glove. Wrapped around like that. So you can imagine if you have blocks to your self-expression, imagine it like something wrapped around your neck and or mouth and your whole head, and just you can notice what it's from if that comes to you easily. But if it doesn't come to you easily, don't train wreck on it. That's not actually the point. Just loosen it up with gold light and take it off. Loosen up the self-expression block and lift it off. Angels, here you go. Again, notice any self-expression block that's really good to get rid of right now. It's healthy and gentle. You can notice it as a, like that, something wrapped around your neck or your mouth, silencing you or, changing your communication. And just notice it, imagine your head and your neck and just notice it and just surround it in lots of gold light and lift it out. Angels, here you go. And then, so that was blocks, remove blocks to your self-expression by imagining them as like a, say, a scarf or something wrapped around your mouth or your neck. And obviously it's not like a nice scarf that's your energy, it's some kind of restrictive thing. So we remove that. So now we'll do the same thing for creativity. And you could imagine blocks to your creativity. I'm going to get a different visual aid. You could imagine blocks to your creativity as something wrapped around, and you could have something literal wrapped around, in your auras, or it could be different blocks and different chakras, and you just imagine it this way because it's easy. So you can imagine something that's just like wrapped around here, binding your arms and your upper body, and so it's a creativity block. So you can imagine your upper body and imagine a creativity block that's super good to get rid of right now, healthy and gentle. And you can imagine it, maybe if you want, as something restrictive like this would be, if it were wrapped around me. And just ease it off with lots of gold light so it's nice and gentle for you to get rid of. Angels, here you go. Again, imagine some kind of block to your creativity, something restrictive, burdens you, weighs you down, holds you, suppressed. And just lots of gold light around it all. Loosen it up with the gold light and ease it off. Say, angels, help me do this, and give it to your angels. Ah, da, da, da. So one more time. Imagine any blocks to your creativity as some kind of a restrictive device or, junk around this whole area of your upper body. And just lift off this creative block with lots of gold light. Lift it off. Angels, here you go. And then you can heal all your chakras along your major chakras along your spine. especially 5th and 4th, but all of them. And so that was removing creativity blocks by imagining them as something bound around your arms and your chest and lifting it off with gold light. Give me your angels. So we're going to wrap up, I swear, but we'll just do a speed round of empty unprocessed stress pots and clear 2 big blocks. So imagine your unprocessed stress pots. Are they full? Are they not full? Bring up red earth energy, lots of gold light, melt the contents away so that then you have a lot of functionality. You don't feel like your brain is too full. So empty your unprocessed stress pots with lots of gold light. Even the couple that you're trying to ignore that are full and gross, just empty those, lots of gold light. So your mind is like extra clear and unburdened. Okay, and then 2 big blocks. Just stack those up. Any energy blocks that are bothering you in any way, making you jumpy, making you feel distracted, unfocused, fearful, whatever, and just melt them away. Make a bunch of piles, melt them with gold light. If you need to, bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy, melt cores from other people going into them. But if they just blow up automatically, you don't have to do all that. Again, put out any 2 big blocks that you still have that are triggered and just blow them up or melt them away with gold light. If you still have a bunch of blocks that aren't clearing, just imagine them out in front of you, wrap them up in lots of gold light, and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right. So check your, boundaries by checking your flow everywhere. So check your front boundaries by checking the flow of the front of your grounding and the front of all your auras. Check your back boundaries by checking the flow in your back and the back of all your auras and the back of your grounding. The side boundaries, same thing. Unblock the sides of your auras and the sides of your grounding and the sides of all your meridians. The meridians along the sides of your body. Upper boundaries, same idea. Unblock the upper parts of all your auras. Unblock above the top of your auras. Say, angels, can you help me wrap up this healing? Angels, angels, can you help my creativity? Angels, can you help my self-expression? All right, good job. Woo, 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 woo. Good job. You're amazing. All right, so we are done with the healing, baby. That was kind of a long one. Yeah. Wow. So this will be a very quick wrap up. So I'm just going to see if I can get through the comments, but these are not, I will not be reading your life story or anything like that. If you wanted me to check your grounding or some kind of a reading question, you can post it under any video at any time, and I'll get to it when I have time. But if you have a comment about how you feel now after this healing, you could post it if you wish. Hi from chilly, damp Ireland. Well, hello to you. Hey, JW, hello to you. I'm too triggered to watch this live right now, but I'll try again in a few days. Alrighty then. Hello from Kansas City, Kansas. Sunny and chilly. Good stuff. I needed your reframed picture of avoiding triggering others. by using my intuition to be judicious, sharing personal experiences. Yeah. Thanks, Janet. Thank you for this triplet set. I feel pretty tired, but am feeling well while healing drainage holes. I was watching and my hip cramped. I thought it was pretty funny as I felt so surprised. That happened when we were releasing. I am okay though. Yeah, that is interesting. Um, I would do that exercise more. The drainage holes. Um, yeah, I would do it more. Plus maybe some stretching. I mean, I need to do more stretching too, so I'm not like judging. I tried to clear some back of aura blocks before the healing too. Thank you for giving this area extra love this healing. You're welcome. Feeling mellow and a little sleepy. I think I'm processing a lot. Thanks, Janet. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Just maybe, recalibrate, healthy and gentle. Maybe you have work today, maybe something else is going on today. You gotta, it doesn't mean you're gonna waste the opportunity of this healing set if you also accommodate your workday, or you also accommodate the fact that it's not time to go to sleep. So just say, angels, help me to adjust so that my clearing and my productivity both happen. My alertness, so I can have both. Because angels are smart that way. They can help you find a nice blend, nice compromise. All right, cool. Cool. Well, let's get rid of all those points there. It's too complicated. Alrighty, well, cool. So I'm going to take some time off, obviously. Well, not obviously if you don't know, but I always take time off, as much time as I can in between these sets, because I need the rest in between healing sets. What else? I can show you my dogs. They're looking really cute. We changed their food, and it's not perfect, but it's better for both our dogs, actually. Our dogs have these allergies, so like one of them is reactive or whatever to seafood and fish oil, and one of them is reactive to chicken. One of them is good with chicken, but the other one is not, and then one is good with seafood and the other is not. So, but we finally found that beef, they both like beef. They're both non-reactive to beef, knock on wood, so far. So that way I don't have to feed two different foods, and it's just easier. So they're vibing on the good beef food that they have now. So here they are. I'm going to show you my doggies as we wrap up. So we call him Little Man when we don't want him to know that we're talking about him. His name is spelled Izzy. And then this guy over there asleep, we call him Good Son when we don't want him to know that we're talking about him. Good Son. His name is Abel. It's a biblical name, but we're not like biblical kind of people. But he came with that name from the rescue, and he knew that as his name, so we didn't change it. But anyway, so they're both nice and mellow. They still do get medication, anti-itch medication, but less than they would otherwise, I guess, if they weren't on the right food. So like Little Man, he only gets a little bit of it now. Maybe at some point we'll be able to take him off it, which would be nice. All right, so that's a little chit chat about pets. Smokey, our cat, is going to get a dental cleaning and remove some bad teeth. So he'll be happier soon. He won't be very happy with me that morning when I take him to the dental surgery. Well, when my husband takes him to the dental surgery, but for his own good. So, but then hopefully he'll rebound nicely. So that'll be good. All right, you guys are amazing. And I hope you have a good evening or afternoon or morning, whatever's next for you. And like I said, the next healing set, the final healing set of 2023, is the December twin set on Sunday, December 17th and Tuesday, December 19th. And the theme for that and the January sets is on my website, jwhealing.com. jwhealing.com. I almost said the old name again by accident. So that's it. For any information you need, well, probably these 600 videos on this channel would be good for that. And my website, jwhealing.com, or you can email me, janet@jwhealing.com, if there's something not clear. All right, bye.